Okay, we're live, my friend.
Yes, we are, boo boo.
Let's see who's here.
Mate, how's your weekend?
Weekend was good, mate.
What'd you get up to?
Good. Huh?
What'd you get up to?
You know what? I've been training. I'm back into my training routine now. So I've been hitting the gym hard, aching everywhere.
I bet.
Barbecue, my standard every Sunday.
Standard Sunday barbecue.
Yeah, lovely. And watched a bit of football. And obviously cryptos.
No rest for the wicked. Who did you watch on the football?
I watched the Liverpool game. I watched the Man City Chelsea.
Okay. Packed weekend, mate. A packed weekend.
That's it.
I was going to bring up the C word, but I thought, no, we'll save that for tomorrow. So.
Oh, yeah. That's true, actually.
I love hearing this song.
You know what? If we ever went out to a bar, when we ever do that again, if this song ever comes on, you just go like, you just go crazy.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, it's our song.
I mean, the chances of it ever coming on are pretty remote, to be fair. But if they did,
yeah, it would be pretty special. Maybe like a garage version of it.
Well, you dropped that one before, didn't you? You dropped the funky house version.
Yeah. We need for those that are not from London, I don't even know if they know what garage is.
This is a very good point. Do you want to educate us now on your musical nous?
No, but we can ask the public to see if they know what garage is. I think Con, who's from Australia, let's see if he knows.
I thought you were going to say something else. Anybody that thinks they know, how would you? I mean, yeah, I've got my standard answer to that, but let's do a few hellos. If you're new to the group, please register on the StreamYard link so that we can see your name and your photo. Raj is in the house, a new member of the C Word group that we do on Tuesdays. Good to have you with us, Raj. Obviously, it's an FX show today, so we're going to be talking all things FX. Facebook user, identify yourself, please. This is a classic case. You're probably new or you're lazy. I don't know which one, but either way, please click on the StreamYard link, register so that we can see your name and your face. Like for Connor, boom. Hi, guys. Cool photo. Married. That's his wedding day, I think, right? I can't see from here. Is it? Yeah, it is. Nice photo.
Yeah. He looks happy.
Must have been taken
I would like an update every 12 months, please.
Con is in the house.
You know what I've noticed? Al Pacino hasn't visited us for a little while.
Ever since you outed him, mate. He just wanted to be in the corner, chilling. No groupies. Everybody's chasing him now for autographs. And our standard comment champion of the last couple of months, Slavomir. I think it was last week you went to the hospital, mate. So hopefully everything's okay. Obviously, clearly your fingers are still working because you are the comment king, as per usual. If you're new to the group, like we say, because we're getting more and more new members in it by the week, which is fantastic. Welcome, welcome, welcome. My name's Gavin, the host. This is Andy Demi, our resident professional trader. Just as a bit of fun, since we've started the group now for about 6 months in the live shows, we just like to see who can do the first comment. So if there is anybody with fast fingers, faster than Slavomir, we urge, this is a public notice, please put your fingers to use and try and knock the comment king off his lofty perch because he's battering everyone right now. Credit where credit's due, right, Andy?
Absolutely. I was actually just thinking about it. I wonder if Slavomir's good at scalping, because you've got to be like very fast.
Either that or very good at computer games. One of the two.
Yeah. Do you know what? People that like computer games probably would enjoy scalping. Scalp trading. So
is there a science to that, or is that just a very big, broad generalization?
No, because there's certain traits to scalp trading. You've got to be fast. You've got to enjoy screen time. So those get both ticked off. So, and then the third one is the only caveat is you've got to have good emotional control, which that is not part of it. But definitely screen time, being fast, that's why there could definitely be a correlation.
Awesome. So look, let's get cracking with the show. And one of the things that we're going to talk about today, actually, let's just finish off this. Wow, that's just showing off. So Slavomir, yes, unfortunately, only on the left hand. So he's beating everybody else.
With one hand.
With one hand. Now he's just dumping on you guys. Come on.
Yes.
A collective effort. Someone, please, with fast fingers. Con saying he knocked him off 2 weeks ago, but no one noticed. I don't think you did, Con. Otherwise, we would have celebrated that. We would have had a Con carnival.
Definitely. I think Con was just catching the big fish from his picture.
And Neil, also, we are streaming. So we're streaming live on Facebook. Should have said that at the beginning. Kind of a rookie error on my part. So there we go. We're also streaming live on YouTube. Neil is on YouTube. So that's why I'm leaning more into scalping. When I was a student, I used to play computer games a lot. I think who was a student and didn't play computer games? I even played Pro Evo back in the day.
Yeah, but there's some people that really take it to extremes. Just love it, like being continuously play. I mean, I used to play, but not 24/7.
You strike me as that kind of guy, mate. You strike me as that kind of guy.
Pro Evo was amazing, and FIFA.
Mate, yeah, me and one of my best mates that we live with, we were so competitive. We said you had to win by 2 clear games. This was on an afternoon on a Wednesday, and Wednesday nights at uni were notorious for great nights. Like you go to the student bar, you go out to the clubs, loads of friends, loads of people around. We were meant to meet a couple of females, and we got so enwrapped in the game, we ended up not going out, mate, because neither of us could win by 2 clear games, and none of us would give up. That's taking it to the extreme obsessive nature, which is a part of my personality sometimes. And I'm not saying that that's a good thing, but that is not one of my best finer moments of university, that's for sure. Is that a little bit weird that I said that?
Yeah.
Cool. So let's move on then. So one of the first things we want to talk about this week is obviously a lot of questions that people get asked around FX and trading in general. How do they fit this in to a routine? What's the best way for them to do it whilst they're working? And obviously, I thought I'd go one step further and say, well, okay, so how did you do that? I know you've spoken about it before, but then you actually went further and actually got a job as a professional trader. So then how did that change? Were you allowed to trade during your hours as a professional trader? And then how was it when you actually transitioned away from the hedge funds and the trading floors to actually become a retail trader? So we'll unpack that, have a bit of a conversation, have a bit of banter as usual, and go from there. So if you break down the first part of that question with regards to routine in general for beginners.
Yeah, no worries. Do you know, like the thing is like, you know, people always feel that they don't have the right amount of time to fit it. So everybody, when they're kind of in and amongst their jobs, they've got family, they've got whatever things going on. Often that's the biggest obstacle. It's the biggest, let's say, reason why a lot of people don't get consistency. So if you can kind of figure out a routine, that works for you, then you're already going to be way streets ahead of the game. And obviously you're asking me how you do it, and I can help you with the how, but there's something else. I'd kind of put it in a slightly different way. I'd also put it in a way that says, like, why. I think about the why first, because if you have a strong enough why, you won't make excuses no matter what comes up. So less sleep. So yes, we're going to talk about, like, how do you structure that in? How do you fit it in? It's quite simple. You find the time that you work best. Like, what is it? Are you a night person? Are you a morning person? You know, like, when do you prefer to do your analysis? I've got to say that I'm a morning person. I wake up naturally early. It's not a problem for me to get up early. So I can go with, even now, I normally have, on average, 4 or 5 hours sleep. I don't sleep more than that. That's my normal sleep. Now, there are some people that need more sleep. They need 8 hours, fine. You just got to go to bed early. It's really that simple. So if you've got work to, you've got to treat this really, really seriously. Now, what's interesting about how we think, and this is for most people, is that when we're doing a job, most people turn up on time. They turn up at the time that they're supposed to turn up. So their boss tells to them, 9 o'clock you start, 9 o'clock they're there. If your boss said to you, do you know what, we're super busy right now, it's a critical part of the year, we need you in at 7:30. You're not going to say, no, I'm not turning up. Most people will be like, oh man, I've got to do it. Okay. And they turn up, right? But they're doing it and making someone else rich, but they still do it, right? Most people would do it, if you're honest. But when it comes to our stuff, the things that really can change your life, like that can, you know, that's going to really, that is for you, we make excuses and we don't do it. Like, oh, I'm tired, I'm not going to get up, or I don't have time. So it's really simple. You need to set a why are you doing this? And it's got to be a why that really moves you, that really pushes you into action. And that's why I've spoken about this many, many times. You have to have a vision of the future, and you need to think about it regularly. And you have to look at it. If you've got a vision board, I've got like a set of things that I read every day, like my future vision, and I do have a vision board as well that I look at regularly. And so when things are a bit tough, which they inevitably will be, because we were discussing this off air, you know, it's like when you want to grow, things just kind of get in the way, almost unexpectedly, but it's just like, it's almost like, how badly do you want it? So this is really, really important. And look, unfortunately, you know, I see a lot of people making excuses as to why they can't do it. Oh, I haven't looked at the markets for a long time because I've got work, or I've got this, or I've got that. And that really, for me, just shows me that you don't want it badly enough. You really don't, or you're not clear as to why you want it. Like, how is FX trading going to change your life? If you were really good at this, if you could access 100, 200, 300 grand, which you can easily access today, not when I started, but today, very easily, you know, you can get funding and you can make 10 grand a month easily, right? When you know what you're doing. Very good. If you knew the formula right now, you could be making 10 grand a month from now, from this month, right? Now, for most people working in a job, they're not earning that. They're earning less than that. So if that's the case, what's stopping you from having that? It's just the determination to learn what you need to learn to have that lifestyle. And by the way, I'm saying 10 grand a month because, you know, that's a decent amount of money for most people. It's more than most people's salary, let's say, in the UK anyway. You know, that's a 6-figure salary. So I'm coming out. But the great thing about trading is that it's scalable. So if you can do 10, you can do 100, you can do 50, you can do whatever you need to live the life that you want. And you can do it without having to be in front of your screens all day. So if you kind of really get excited about that and think about, okay, what kind of life would I live if that was happening for me? And then you think about that, I promise you, whatever routine you set, you'll be able to do it. You will not use excuses. It will be like, well, I need to turn up to work because otherwise I'll lose my job. I need to turn up on my screens at this time and do my work because I won't succeed if I don't, and I won't have that life. And if you come from that space, you are exactly where you need to be. That's the space you have to be in. Otherwise, you're just going to be on that treadmill continuously. Oh, I've learned this strategy. It's not working for me. I need this. I need the mentor. I need this. I need another course. And it just carries on. But actually, you're carrying on with the same patterns that you always had, and you're not breaking your patterns. You're not allowing yourself to break your patterns because you're just staying in that comfort zone of just trying. So that's why I say, like, yes, routine is important, but the why is more important.
Very good, Mr. Demi. Very good psychology start to the show this week. Nice and deep as usual. Okay, so we've got the why figured out. And maybe if for some people that are watching, what are your whys? If you want to share them, put them in the comments section. And also, if you're new to the show, we will be doing our professional trade setup of the week. So this is where we put Mr. Demi on the spot and we get him to trade or to look for a trade setup on any currency pair that we want him to find. So 2 things to do. Start putting the currency pairs in the comments section. And also, if you want to share what your why is, then please feel free to share your whys right now, and we'll read some of them out later in the show. It also helps with the Facebook algorithm and keeps the juice flowing for the show, and then Facebook puts it out to more people. So that's our little kind of payment in kind, if you will. Thank you very much. Tip my hat to you. Okay, so with that being said, let's crack on with the routine section now.
What do you have another question?
Yeah. So you went into the why. So now with regards to the actual routine, so what was it like for you, for the new people, and for people that haven't heard this, like how was it for you? And then when you transitioned into actually becoming a professional trader, how was it different once you'd already had your routine? How did you have to change?
Yeah, I mean, I would my routine back then was quite simple. I was working mostly between 8:30 and 7, so plus travel time. I'd get home, have some dinner, and then I'd pretty much be looking at charts for 3 to 4 hours and then going to sleep and then waking up. So I would be doing I was doing stock trading back then. So I would be doing sort of like end of day stock trading. So the markets would be closed. I'd go through all of my charts, spend 3-4 hours doing all the stuff that I knew, and then placing my orders and then going again. And that was pretty much my routine. So yeah, it was kind of just like from early morning until midnight, 1 o'clock, I'd be pretty much working. So working for other people and then working for myself, like developing my craft, improving, learning, just by practicing as well. And I did have training as well that I had learned. So I was just kind of, I had a mentor at the time, and I was just literally implementing what I knew. And yeah, and I think it was just a case of like, it didn't feel like work to me, if I'm honest. It was like, like when people go home and they just watch a bit of TV, it was like having fun, like looking at the markets, enjoying the process. So, yeah, so it was really pretty much going to the charts, placing my orders, putting the trade in the journal. And then on the weekends, every Saturday, I reviewed all of my trades and my performance. Looked through all my comments, my screenshots, and I was just trying to sort of see how I'd done and see what I could improve. And I used to write a lot. I used to write a lot of comments. So that's a good little tip. If you're if you're using a trade journal, which you should be, I would be putting in as much as you can into that journal. Like, type all your thoughts about that trade, because the more detail you have, some of it will not be needed, but it's better to have more than less, because you can look back at it and you can think, okay, that's how I was thinking about trading then. So 12 months later, that will be obsolete probably. Like, you'll be like, okay, I've definitely grown since then. And it's really nice to see the difference, when you go back. So very, very important as part of, and for most people, they're not going to do 3-4 hours. Do an hour, like after work, an hour, or get up early, an hour, and do that in the morning, and just make it consistent. Consistency is the most important thing. If you say to yourself, I'm going to do 2 hours every day in the morning, and you don't do it, you actually are doing more damage than you realize, because it just means that your word means nothing and you can't be trusted. So it's like when you say, I'm going to put a stop in the market and I'm not going to move it, well, you probably will, because you're just a rule breaker. You're not sticking to what you say you're going to do, right? So you're better to say, look, I'm going to commit a minimum of 30 minutes every day and do it consistently for a year. My word, the results are going to be outstanding if you did that. Just 30 minutes a day and of focused work. So I'm not going to look at 20 charts. I'm going to look at 3 charts in those 30 minutes, because I need 20 minutes, 5 minutes each chart, or whatever it is for you. And then I'm going to, or 5 to 10 minutes, whatever. And then I'm going to, if I find a trade, I'm going to have to place the order. I need to do my risk management. I need to put my stop in, put it in my journal. So, however long it takes you need to factor that in and just commit to 30 minutes a day. And if you do more, that's great. So that's very, very, very important, that what you say you do. And it just means that you are now acting like a professional, which is important. You've got to act before you make it. So that's why they say having people around you that are playing the game the way you want to play it, right? Imagine like we want to be professional footballers and I'm going to the park practicing by myself, or if I could get, professional footballers around me and we could practice together. I mean, of course, you're going to grow so much faster. You're going to see stuff that you don't normally see, that you can't do, and you're going to get to grow faster, which is why we create the environments that we do, the groups, all that sort of stuff. It's really, really important to your development. So, but step by step. But like you've got to stay consistent. Absolutely, so important if you want to grow.
Awesome. Thank you very much for sharing. So we've had a few comments come in. Janice, afternoon, guys. Good to have you with us. Janice, Con saying, and this is interesting because he's saying he does 12 hours a day on charts, still waiting for the elusive success. That could be another topic of conversation, maybe overdoing it.
Yes.
And maybe we could do that. Unless you want to touch on that now, we could speak about that in another show, unless you want to talk about it now.
Yeah, I mean, no, you're right. I mean, you could overdo it. I think more important than the time is understanding exactly what you're looking for and being really clear. I think clarity is more important than anything else, because if you're just looking at charts and you don't have a structure, you don't have a clear defined structure or clear plan, and nobody's helping you to show you that, or you can't figure it out yourself, then you will inevitably be spending loads and loads of time, but probably a lot of it is wasted because, you know, it's much easier if I said to you, right, go on a chart and go and find me a bullish engulfing candle. And this is what the bullish engulfing candle looks like, right? Your brain knows, okay, well, that's what it looks like. I just need to see that pattern on this chart, and then I've identified what I'm looking for, right? As opposed to like having all this stuff and then just looking randomly. So I think we need to make sure, Con, that you're looking at the right things, that you've got clear rules. So maybe simplify what you're looking for to begin with, like, because, and then obviously the other part of success is, you know, are you managing your risk correctly? Because I think I've said this before, you could flip a coin and be a break-even trader, right? You could flip a coin, you've got a 50-50 chance of winning or losing, give or take your spreads, but just take that aside. So think of it like that. If you understand something about the markets, you should be making money, right? So it's about trading psychology, about managing your risk and having clarity when you're looking for a setup, and then just sticking to the plan and not letting emotions get the better of you. That's kind of all I'll say, because obviously I know we've got a limited amount of time now.
Awesome. Okay, thanks for sharing that. And also shout out to Najit. I love this. So she loves vision boards and has a dream box too. Vision boards, I know they've been around for a while, but dream box, I am new to that one. Do you know about dream boxes?
No, I'm interested.
Please enlighten us, Najit. Or anyone else that knows about dream boxes. That's very interesting. Cool. So whilst we're waiting for that answer, let's go on to the next question, which a lot of people say, do you have to have high levels of intelligence or high levels of hard work? And as I said on the video, for anybody that watched it before the show, is the tease. You, having been successful at this, will probably say that you need large doses of both, but I'm sure that would just be in jest, because generally deep down you're quite a humble guy. So we can trust you to give us the honest answer. What is the answer to that question, Mr. Demi?
Honestly, I think actually in some ways, if you're too smart, it can do you a disservice, because then you overthink it. You think of every scenario possible and then you can't make a decision. So sometimes being too smart can be to your detriment. Yes, look, you have to have some form of intelligence, but you don't need to be a brain surgeon to do this. Like, it's more important. And sometimes in actual fact, sometimes being a little bit naive can be a great thing. So it's like, as long as you're being coached by the right person. So like, if I literally say to you, right, just do this, this, and this, the person that's not going to overthink it will just follow it, right? They will just literally follow what I tell them to say. If I say, look, do this, this, and this, and you'll be successful, and they trust me, then that's what they'll do. And that's kind of what we've seen. A lot of our successful students are exactly that. It doesn't mean they're not intelligent, by the way. It just means that they're happy to take instruction. They're happy to kind of follow the rules and trust that the process is going to work for them, and then they see success. So I don't think intelligence is, you don't really need to be that intelligent to succeed at trading. I think you've got to have a little bit of determination and perseverance. That's an important skill set, because it's unlikely that it's just going to happen immediately for you. Like, it could, but for most people, they need a little bit of work to get to that level. But it can happen quite quickly with the right guidance. I honestly have seen that. So I think, yeah, I think the simple answer is no, you don't need to be super intelligent to trade. And I'd say I would definitely choose the hard-working person over the intelligent one, 100% of the time.
Interesting. I think
100% of the time.
Yeah.
If I had to back a horse, 100%. Yeah.
What was that?
If I had to back a horse, if you gave me a challenge, right, there's two people. One is got a super high IQ. The other one is just a medium IQ or a low, whatever. I'd take the one with the low or medium, 100%. Because I know I could get them to do what I need them to do. Definitely.
I remember when I was growing up, I used to think it was all either luck or fate, or you've got a predestined kind of outcome, whatever it may be. Whereas actually, I realized the older I've got and the more things that I have managed to achieve, it's not that at all. It is that hard work ethic. Can you think of anything where it is just about having a high IQ, or because I can't think of anything that hard work doesn't trump, or not even hard work. That's an old school way of thinking about it. Intelligent application. Maybe that's the fusion of them both. Do you know what I mean? Where it's not just about doing stuff, mindless activity. It's not even about that. But if you can apply that work ethic, I don't know, is anybody watching that can say, okay, well, actually, high IQ or intelligence will beat that anytime? Because I can't think of one thing. Can you?
No. I mean, yeah, there'll be some things like, educational, or that some people just get naturally. That's why people have like PhDs, but they're not necessarily
careful.
No, I'm just saying that you've got people that have got degrees and PhDs and so on, but they're not actually really, yes, they're intelligent because they've got those qualifications, but actually in the real world, they're not actually. There's people that have got way less than that and less IQ than them, but are earning a lot more money than them. So who is intelligent? That's another complete conversation. Who is intelligent? Is intelligence IQ? I don't think so. I think actually it's just because there's street smart and then there's IQ. So for me, it's about thinking on your feet, being creative. Like that for me is real intelligence. Over I can just get these qualifications. Personally, that's what I believe.
When you were in the hedge funds and the trading floors, I know before you said that you would look specifically to hire junior traders that were maybe from a sporting background or maybe even a military background, right? Was there ever a time when you guys had like an amazing candidate that was just so super intelligent that you thought, we've got to take a punt on them because they are that intelligent that surely this can't not work?
No, never. It can be off-putting because a lot of intelligent people have a lot of ego, and it's very hard to get through to them or to get them to see the way that you want them to do stuff. So it was always about who can manage risk, who's got good psychology. You mentioned ex-military. I mean, look at Tony. I don't know if Tony Da Vinci's here with us, but what a great example, like complete beginner. And he literally had 500 in his pocket and he's turned that to 4. And now, and the other day he posted another $2,000 up. I mean, he's ex-military, right? Now, is that a coincidence? I don't know. But in my experience, if you can control the discipline side, and obviously that's what you need, and in sport, professional sports. So, and for those that are not in those, I'm not alienating you. I'm just showing you that that's what you need to master. You need to get that discipline, right? And obviously that's almost been done for you. That's been instilled in you. But if you haven't got somebody instilling it in you, you have to do it. So it's like, this is a good tip. This is going to help people. At the moment, most people are judging success by how much money they've made, how many winning trades they've got, how many, versus losing trades and all this other stuff, which, there's definitely used to that. Start measuring yourself on these terms. What if you said for the next 6 months, I'm going to commit to waking up 30 minutes before every day and doing at least 30 minutes of market analysis or something to do with the markets to improve my knowledge, whether it's reading a book, watching a YouTube video, going through charts, something to do with the skill that you want to master. How many people, if you could set this challenge in 6 months, would say they did it every day? I'd probably say 0. But you don't have to achieve it every day. What if you achieved it 90% of the time? Do you think you would improve as a trader? I would say absolutely hell yes. So how many people would do it 90% of the time? I'd probably say 10% at most. So think about the odds of you succeeding at trading and the challenge that I'm just putting in front of you now. If only such a small select of people would do it, that shows you why only a small select of people succeed at trading. Because the reality is that you do it for a week, you do it for 2 weeks, and you're like, I don't really get the point of this. Do you see what I'm saying? You'll start to rationalize it. Well, I'm not even trading. I'm still on demo. What's the point? Do you see what I could just make excuses of why I'm not going to do it. And you just think, yeah, no, okay, I'll just leave it. And it just goes. And before you know it, it's forgotten about. That was like just something you did for a bit. So yeah, that's all I'll say on that, because otherwise I could carry on talking forever.
And we love it, mate. And we love it. And you're dropping some knowledge bombs. Well said, Andy Demi. So before we go into a few of the comments, we've just got a couple of minutes. If you want your favorite FX pair or an FX pair that you've got that you really want some professional breakdown on, we're about to commence the pro trading setup of the week. So you've got a couple of minutes to get your requests in. We'll just go through a few comments and questions. Vilius, loving your commitment to the show. Thank you for your support. Hey guys, just to greet you here, unfortunately can't watch as I'm at work. Watching recording at home today. Good luck. Thank you very much for that. And then Facebook user, again, if you can just sign in to StreamYard so that we can see your name and a photo. But I'm liking your comment. Intelligence is useless without the grit to apply. What do you think to that one, Mr.
Oh, you're waiting for me to answer that. Yeah, no, I agree completely. I think obviously having both is great, but too much of an IQ, as I said, can sometimes be detrimental because it creates an ego and it's almost like a filter of what can go in. So it's like if something is illogical to them, to the person, it's impossible to happen. That's what they believe because they're smart. Well, it just can't happen for them then. That's the problem with that. So sometimes, like, is it logical for people to start as a beginner in trading and then double, triple, quadruple accounts? No, absolutely not. In fact, my logical brain was saying, no, that's not possible. But that's what we're seeing. So that tells me that intelligence doesn't always serve you.
Interesting. And apparently that was Rico. Didn't realize he had deregistered. So thank you for re-registering, my friend. Good to have you with us. Najit's back with her dream box. Following the laws of attraction, recently read a book called Ask and It's Given. Is that the one by...
Somebody recommended this to me the other day.
I can't remember the name of the...
Somebody told me.
An older American couple. The guy's no longer here. I think it's written by them. Ask and It's Given. Anyway, so it's learning how to manifest the law of attraction. Basically, you get a box, put in there whatever you want, magazine cutouts, etc., etc. Apparently, it's a lot more powerful than a vision board. Interesting. I'm doing both and have sticky Post-it notes all around my house. My children add their dreams to the box. So far, their dreams are coming true.
Really? Nikki, is one of your dreams to meet Gaven Orlando in person?
Don't put me in a box, please.
Put him in a box and see if it works.
I get claustrophobic. So I'd appreciate that.
That would be the real test.
Just catch a flight over to the Gold Coast. It's much better than the UK. We don't need to be in a box. It's fine. We'll go out for lunch. It's all good. So look, thank you very much for that. The first comment that we had in for currency pair is sterling Aussie.
Yeah, is that the one we're going to go with?
Yeah, let's go for that.
Sterling Aussie. Okay, that's a good one.
Legit's not going to put me in her box. Thank you.
She is. Do you know what? Don't tell us. Don't tell us, okay? But just do it.
And I wake up. Don't do it.
If that
please.
works, honestly, I'll be like, you never know.
Just while you're getting that up, Facebook user again, please register. We love to see your name, so we feel like we can have a bit more banter. Agree that hard working, commitment, and perseverance combined will achieve better results than just intelligence. Yeah, I still can't think of anything where that would not be the case. I'm really trying as well. Interesting. Still don't have it, and I'm still trying to think of the author of Ask and It's Given as well. She channels. It's the one that channels, right? I'm sure of it. Anyway, got me stumped.
It might have been, I don't know who mentioned, somebody mentioned it to me. It might have been my mentor, I don't know.
Esther Hicks. Is it Esther Hicks? Asking It's Given. Abraham Hicks. I'm pretty sure that's it. If I'm wrong, then put me in the box.
If you've just Googled it and then
Mate, Google, my brain is Google. My brain is Google. Yes! Boom! I read that quite a few years ago. Esther and Jerry Hicks.
Well, it's obviously not worked on you.
It's true, mate. It's true.
Right, so let's have a look at Sterling Oz.
That's the nicest thing anybody said to me all day. Thanks, mate.
It's better to be honest, mate. That's the truth.
That's what I love about you, boo boo.
Oh dear. Right, I'll get the time frames up and then we'll go through it. So you can see I'm just literally just bringing them up from scratch. Always better that way. And we'll have a look and see what there is, and hopefully we can find a nice trade for everyone to take. So let's stick with
Wait, we've got to wait for Legit to put down a winning trade and put it in a box, and then you'll come up with something good.
Yeah. Okay. All right, perfect. So I'm going to try and look at 4 time frames. Let's do it. So let's start with, sorry, I've got the window open because it's hot in here. So it might get a bit loud. Right, okay, Sterling Oz. Let's start. Always go with the weekly. Have a little look to see what's going on. So first thing I can see there looks like a bit of a range. So we're just going to connect some dots and see what we have. So I like to just see if there's any kind of support that can become resistance like there. So that looks like it's quite reactive. And we do have, I'm going to just see where this support line connects to see if there's anything here of interest. Yeah, so we kind of had support, and when the market goes into range, it's just kind of, it feels like it's just now going through, resistance, support, possibly back to resistance here, and then maybe back to support. Not the easiest of charts. One thing we can say, it looks range bound. Let's see if there's anything else here that we should. I mean, I could stick the weekly levels in. I think with a range, I would be. Let's just have a little look to see if there's anything really, really clear and obvious that we might want to know about. Yeah, that's perfect actually. That's kind of that's ideal, because that's the level that I just said. Maybe we're going to kind of go there. So that level there, 83.59. That's a double weekly level, and I'll just get my pen out. And I'm going to do one more thing in a sec. Yeah, so I'd be kind of thinking, is this going to kind of do this? And then maybe we could kind of look at that between 83.59 and 84.20 as a short opportunity. There could be a potential long opportunity in the sterling Oz. We can also have a little look to see if we can use this as a guide as to where support might come in. Somewhere there. So maybe a little spike down to here. That's a nice little level there. 177. So I'd be kind of thinking maybe a spike down and then we buy it up to there would probably be my, what I'd probably, it's a tricky one, this one, but let's see what the daily's saying. If there's anything a bit clearer. But this is why we don't handpick them. We can just see what's there. Okay, I'm just going to put the daily levels in on this one so that I can see where support is coming in just below here. Yeah, there's a lot there. This is it's a real clear range, so that makes it quite messy. But you've got this level here, 76.67. Okay, I'm going to get rid of all of that, and then I'm going to go to the lower time frames. We need to get into the intricate details of the lower time frame here to figure out what trade there is, if there is a trade. Okay. So I may come back to this, but I'm just going to stick with this for now. Okay. I'm just going to check out the down fibs just to see if there's any interesting level coming in. Yeah, that's perfect. There we go. There we go. Right. 176.77. That was actually that daily level, guys, that I just identified. So if I go back to this, if I just put these daily levels in again, see what we're trying to do is we're just trying to build confluence up. And that, look, see that? Look at the price there, guys. 176.67. And the Fibonacci is basically 176.77, which is really pretty much the same. 10 pips is really nothing for this. So I quite like this area here as a possible buy if we can find another reason down there. Let me try something here. I just want to kind of test something. Quite like this line there, a little retest. Yeah, somewhere like that. See if there's any kind of no, that's basically where we're holding now. Okay. Let's put the 4-hour levels in as well. See if there's any confirmation on the 4-hour chart. No, it's only up to here. Yeah, I mean, at the moment, we're really stuck in this range. So you could get that push down and then we respond, but I'm not seeing enough here. Let's go check out the hourly chart, see if there's anything else here that we can see. Guys have given me a tricky one today. So I'm going to go back to that weekly chart. Where's 176.77? It's there. It's literally there.
Yeah, I like that as a buy. If I think, look, you're look at this weekly. This has not done anything really. So since the 24th of Jan, we've kind of been stuck in this range. And what we're basically saying is we're basically buying there, right there. I think that's a decent area to put a buy limit. And then you could target up there and then sell it up here, 183.59. I'll add I don't know if this is going to give us anything at all, but I'll add the down fibs on this as well. That's yeah, this is just the low, 177.42. So not really confirming anything as such. All right. Remove, back to drawing. Okay, let me just do one more thing. So we've got 176.77 as a buy, 183. Or if it just goes up, I would be looking at this area here as a sell, 83.59. That's a really nice zone, but that's probably a long way away. Just going to draw and see if there's anything else that we can spot here. That's yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's it, guys. There's not really anything else. I mean, basically, I would the only additional thing that I would consider adding to this is if you want to buy in a range, you can add in the stochastic. So I like the stochastic RSI. I don't really have a good one on here. You can do that on TradingView. But if you want to, if you're somebody who wants a bit of confirmation, I would use that with the stochastic. So well, actually, look, we've got this line here that's reactive as well. So yeah, I'd say that's the buy right there. If you want confirmation, you can wait for the stochastic to be oversold as well. Personally, I don't need that. I would consider taking this just as it hits that level. So you could put a buy limit there, just above it, maybe 76.82. And if you want to do this as a long-term one, as I said, the target would be around 183.50, right there. So we're basically buying here, target there. And, you know, if you want to have a stop, you could just put it behind this 1618, so somewhere there if you want to give it a bit of space. So you're risking that much to make that much, and that would be like regarded as a swing trade, because that's going to probably take a bit of time, something like that. That's basically what I'd expect. So don't expect this to just go bang bang. Is that all right, guys? We've made a setup there. It's a decent setup. I'm not going to say it's the best setup I've ever come up with, but that's what's available. But it's a decent one. And it's in a ranging market. You're buying support. You're getting a good price. You've got the weekly level. You've got the channel. And we haven't broken this range since the start of Jan, which is 5 months. So, and if you give it enough space, I mean, that stop there is, you know, set 174. If you go back to that weekly chart, I'd like to see where 174 is. Yeah, that's great. In fact, you just go 173.98, you're actually behind this big block here as well, like of double support. So there's a good chance that this is going to go up to here. before it hits that stop down there, and you're going to make at least 2 to 1, if not a little bit more, 3 to 1 from that trade. Nice swing trade. You could put it, because it's going to take some time, you could put a little bit more than 1%, maybe 2 to 3% or something like that.
Awesome. And a new name that I am seeing here, just a quick question to finish off the show. So you use depth of market and volume profile in your analysis, question mark?
I do. Not so much in FX, but I do use, I do consider the volume, and but to be honest, it's not a massive part of my FX trading just because of the nature of FX. But it's very, very useful in stocks and commodities and cryptos and indices, more than FX, I've found.
Which leads us on.
And sorry, Gav, can I just say one more thing on that?
Sure.
Most important is I don't need it. That's the thing. So, you know, the results are there without that. So that's kind of like says enough for me that I don't need to use it. It doesn't really add anything. So all the things that we just did there, I mean, yes, you could. I mean, volume profile I use, if that was one of the questions. I do use volume profile. That can be useful. It's just that, but again, it's just a confluence. It's just a confluence tool.
Awesome. And that concludes today's show on FX and leads us nicely into tomorrow, where we will be talking about all things being the C word, which in this instance is crypto. So we've just finished Pips Like a Pro. That's every Monday at midday. Tuesdays at midday, we're back. We're going to be doing Cryptos Like a Pro, where we talk about all things cryptos. So anything else you want to say before we bounce, Boo Boo?
No, hopefully people got value. Thank you for being here. And yeah, that's all. We'll see you tomorrow if you're here.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching the reruns. If you're at work, we understand, but we love you even more if you manage to catch it on the live and put some juice in the Facebook comment algorithm for us. So thank you very much for that. Have a great day, whatever you're up to, and we will see you tomorrow, same time, same place, inside the Facebook group. Have a good one, guys. Tried to catch you out.
Did you? Can't even let me rest for 2 seconds.
Delle genti passeranno, dove la ciao.